everyone, I'm Alicia Malone and welcome to the very first episode of AMC Rewind. Rewind. I'm joined by my Rewind co-host, John Schnepp.
Hey, what's going on? Happy to be here for the very first episode of Rewind.
That's going to be our theme song. So this is the show which celebrates classic cinema, and to give you an idea of how the show's going to work, every week we're going to choose a theme, and then we're going to pick 2 films that we recommend from that theme, plus a hidden gem, a film that people might not know about or maybe you've forgotten about. And then we also have a segment just designed to make you feel old, which is our anniversary segment, films that have turned 20 years ago this week. So we're kicking things off with a theme that you chose, Schnepp, gangster films. Right. Why do you love gangster films?
Well, gangster films to me is like the perfect personification of the dysfunctional family, but it's extended into horror, pain, and murder, which is things that the dysfunctional family hopefully doesn't have to deal with in modern life or real life, but you get to experience. And a lot of these, films that we've seen over, since the 30s all the way to now are based off of, real life. There are real gangsters, and there's something kind of exciting about it. It's horrifying, yet exciting, just like regular gangster films. Like, well, all of us have probably seen all of The Sopranos, but we're here to celebrate the gangster films.
Yeah, and I love these movies because I love watching the rise and the fall of these characters. And it's kind of like a perverted American dream where they start from nothing, they get a lot of success, and you're kind of cheering them on. Right. But then it's just as fun to watch it all fall apart.
Right. And it usually does, in no uncertain terms, usually fall apart at the end for everyone involved in these kinds of activities. I mean, unless they're never caught and they're the ones who got away with it, and they're like, they ain't making a gangster film about me because I got away with it. So,
Lots of drugs, lots of violence, lots of good stuff. So if you would like to get into the gangster genre, Rewind recommends The Long Good Friday. Now, this is the late, great Bob Hoskins' breakout role. It's a British gangster film starring Hoskins and Helen Mirren. It was finished in 1979, but not released till 1980, directed by John Mackenzie. And Bob plays a London gangster who wants to go legitimate with a plan to redevelop the London docklands for future Olympic Games. But, of course, it's not that easy to go legit. So, Schnepp, this film was really influential with the British gangster movies, wasn't it?
Yes, it was. And over here in the States, it was very influential for us. I love the feeling of it. I love the way, just that one shot that you just saw where everyone's kind of hanging up like hooks of meat.
Which you've seen in other films many times.
But this was the one that really kind of emulated, like other films have emulated, because Bob Hoskins, this is the movie that put Bob Hoskins on the map. He's such a brooding creature in this film, like filled with anger and hatred, that like every scene that he's in this film you could feel it, and his brutality in the film is also something quite astonishing.
He's so menacing, but at the same time the character is really layered, so you understand him. He's trying to go legit, but he has to deal with a lot of stuff from inside his own world. And I love that the American Mafia is involved. Bob Hoskins also just has the best accent ever. The dialogue is brilliant, and as you mentioned, this shot we've seen many times before. We've also seen the explosions, but it's just all done so well. And this film is kind of hard to find these days, but it's on the Criterion Collection.
Oh, right on.
So people should really seek it out.
Yeah, definitely check it out. If you've never heard of The Long Good Friday, now you have. Now it's time to check it out. Watch Bob Hoskins and Helen Mirren, like from 35 years, 40 years ago.
She's hot, Helen Mirren.
She's hot now.
Yeah.
She's like, she's it,
And no spoilers, but the ending, that long close-up scene is so brilliant.
Yeah, well, it's one of the, Bob Hoskins.
It says so much without actually saying any dialogue at all. So definitely check it out if you can find it. Also stars a young Pierce Brosnan.
Oh, right.
Yeah, which I completely forgot about till I watched it again. Okay, well, another gangster film that Rewind recommends is right behind your shoulder, Schnepp. Goodfellas, the 1990 film by Martin Scorsese, and this is my personal favourite of Scorsese films. It's about the rise and fall of Henry Hill, played by Ray Liotta, and his gangster friends from about 1955, I think, to 1980. Also stars Joe Pesci, Paul Sorvino, Robert De Niro, and this was the film that got Joe Pesci the Oscar.
Oh, yeah.
And he is so good.
What, am I here to amuse you? Am I trying to make you laugh, Alicia? What, are you going to drink that water? You think I'm funny, huh?
Think I'm funny? Funny how?
Like a clown, right? What? Yeah, Joe Pesci, that was my worst Joe Pesci impersonation. Sorry, I couldn't help it.
Mine too.
Time for you guys to do a Joe Pesci impersonation. Yeah, this film is just incredible. It knocks it out of the park. I love going through time watching the rise and fall of that main character. I mean, if you haven't seen it, put Ray Liotta on the map too.
Yeah,
literally,
this was the first time he carried a film.
He's fantastic. Scorsese, just usually that guy just hits it out of the park. This just like exploded the moon or something. I don't know. It's such a fantastic film. Everything from the score, just every single thing in the film is it's masterfully directed.
Yeah, for me, this was like the culmination of everything he'd done before. And he does everything so well, like the camera shots, that Copa shot, which is so famous.
Yes.
The editing, the dialogue, the characters, and Ray Liotta is brilliant. I won't give away the ending again, but it ends perfectly. Absolutely perfectly. It's a very different kind of American dream. And I think Scorsese is so good at showing this rise and fall, the violent lifestyle, and he makes it seductive. It's almost like you want to be part of it, and then you enjoy watching it all fall apart, like we were saying before. And it's similar to what he did with Wolf of Wall Street as well, but this is the original. This is the one that people should see.
Yeah, this is the one. If you love Goodfellas, after you see Goodfellas, then go move on to Casino, and then move on to some of the other, Scorsese gangster films. But if you haven't seen Goodfellas, do yourself a favor and check this out. It's fantastic.
Very influential, and apparently during test screenings, they got the worst response in history from audiences.
Wow.
Who just said it was too violent, too much drug use. They didn't get it, but of course now it's critically acclaimed, and it's more than a cult favorite because it did really well at the box office and people still love it. And then I love the story that apparently De Niro left a horse's head inside Ray Liotta's dressing room as a way to say, welcome to the gangster world.
You like The Godfather, right? Check this out.
Yeah.
This is some real Godfather, right?
Such a great cast. I love that poster too.
Yeah.
Those three guys, so good. So definitely check out Goodfellas if you haven't already, and we'd love to hear what you think. If you watch Long Good Friday or Goodfellas, make sure you tweet me and John Schnepp, and we want to hear your thoughts.
Yeah, tell us about Spider. Hey, Spider, why don't you dance now, Spider? Hey,
that's a good one.
I'm getting better. I'm getting better. Yeah.
You got to do that high pitch.
Right. Hey, Spider. Right.
Funny how.
Funny how.
All right. Well, let's move on to our section called. Okay, let's move on to our segment where we like to make you feel old. It's called Rewind Remembers, and this is where we talk about the films that came out this time about 20 years ago.
Right.
So,
or this is going to make you feel real young, dependingly. You'll be like, wow, I wasn't even born yet. If you're watching
never
this,
even heard of these.
I don't even know what you're talking about.
So the first film is Naked Gun, 33 1/3, The Final Insult. This is the third and final film from the Naked Gun series, starring Leslie Nielsen. It's a spoof movie based on the Police Squad TV series. I love the tagline, mostly all new jokes.
Right.
It had a budget of $30 million, made $51 million at the box office. The other one is called The Paper, directed by Ron Howard, and it's got a really impressive cast. Michael Keaton, Glenn Close, Marissa Tomei, Randy Quaid, Robert Duvall, and it's set over 24 hours. Keaton is an editor at the New York Sun, a paper facing financial cuts. He has some tough decisions to be made. At a budget of just $6 million, made $48 million.
Wow.
I've never seen The Paper.
Yeah.
Have you?
Oh, no, I haven't.
No.
I'm not, just because Randy Quaid's in it, now I want to check it out.
Yeah.
I was like, hey, let's check out, have a Randy Quaid special. So.
And directed by Ron Howard, but you never hear about this movie.
No, it's kind of, I think I glossed over by everybody. They're like, yeah, The Paper. Anyway.
Yeah, anyway, on to the next.
Right.
And Naked Gun, I remember this one. My dad loved all the Naked Gun series, so I remember watching this one a couple of times. I love Leslie Nielsen.
Yes, I love Anna Nicole Smith. So,
yeah.
Well, I mean, in this film,
right.
yeah, this is one of the only films. This and the Hudsucker Proxy that she was actually, hey, she deserves to be in this movie. It makes sense.
And they just don't make the spoof films like this one anymore.
No, they do not. There's no airplanes coming out now. So.
No, but I'd love to rewatch this and see if it's still funny. Because I remember it was very funny at the time, but I was young.
It's very referential, so the reference humor ends at somewhere when it came out. You're like, if you didn't see all that stuff that they're referencing, you know.
Then you're screwed.
Yeah.
Okay, so those films came out this week about 20 years ago. Jeez, I do feel old.
Oh
hearing
boy,
that.
boy, do I feel old. Where's my walker?
Now let's go back to the gangster world for Rewind Reveals, where we talk about Hidden Gem. Now tell me, which one did you pick this week?
Well, this week I went with a kind of gangster in high school film. It's called River's Edge. It came out, I believe, in 1986.
Yeah.
The main people that it stars are Crispin Glover and Keanu Reeves. It's an incredible film if you've never seen it. Also, Dennis Hopper has a great role in it. You see that picture right there. There's that big kind of chunky dude. The character's name is John, and he goes to school, starts bragging about murdering one of their friends. He's like, yeah, I just murdered her. And they're like, what? And then you saw the image beforehand of that dead girl. It's also directed by Tim Hunter, which has shades of Twin Peaks, which he went on to direct as well. He directed a ton of episodes of Twin Peaks. He's a great director. Very happy that he's also did a bunch of episodes of Freak Show. But River's Edge, to me, always had this really strange quality. It had this off-putting kind of horrible possible reality to it, where it's like you're in this high school, you're a bunch of people just normal, and then there's also the freaks like Crispin Glover, kind of like a methy kind of like guy. One of his best roles he's ever played. So if you're a Crispin Glover fan and you haven't seen River's Edge, you've got to check it out.
Yeah, I think not many people would have seen this film. I remember seeing it a long time ago, then I rewatched it just over the weekend, and it's so dark. It's kind of the anti-John Hughes movie.
Yes, very much so.
But it really shows the teenagers in high school who are kind of dead inside. There's nothing going on. All they want to do is get stoned and just get through life. And then this happens, and similar to a gangster film, they have to choose which side they fall on,
right.
Who's going to protect him.
Right, Lane is what side are you on? What side are you? Are you with
Come
us?
on, man.
Yeah.
Tell me what side you on.
Yeah.
I can't do Crispin Glover,
good.
but he is so good in this film because his acting style is so over the top, but somehow it really works.
It really works.
And Keanu Reeves, I mean, there's these
I love the scenes. I love the scenes with Keanu Reeves and his family.
Yeah.
Like such a dysfunctional, horrible family lifestyle. And also the little brother who's like, following him, like, don't follow me. Like the little gang of little smaller kids want to get in on the...
Yeah, sponsored pot, and they're not fazed at all by seeing a murdered girl. It's definitely one that people should check out. It is on Amazon. I watched it on that, and it won the Best Picture at the Independent Spirit Awards back in 1986. One that just gets overlooked.
Yeah, definitely check out River's Edge. If you've never heard of it, if you watch it on Amazon Prime right now.
Yeah.
It's awesome.
Awesome. Well, that's it for our very first AMC Rewind. We went through that pretty quickly.
Can't believe it. Should we just rewind and do it again?
Yeah.
Hey, guys, we're like rewinding. Like this is like a weird vinyl thing. That's what we're doing. We're like DJs from the past.
Well, we hope you enjoyed this crazy episode. Schnepp, where can people find you online?
You guys can find me on Twitter and Instagram, just at John Schnepp and at TDOSLWH.
And you can find me at Alicia Malone on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook. Like I said, if you see any of these films, do let us know what you think, as we love to introduce you guys to new movies, new old movies.
Yes.
See you next time.